Now let's talk about LPG evaporators. Why are they important to us and why are we present them to our clients across Europe and beyond? Honestly, I have a manly. We had up until the beginning of this year 4 types. Now we have 5. I'm very happy. I think the 5th one is really nice. You can see it there, but let's start from the beginning. We start with the dry evaporator at small capacities, 30, 50, 100, 3 types, 3 models. Then we move on to the electric evaporator with a water bath. That's from 100 per hour. Then we have the gas evaporator, and I'll talk about everything in order, but quickly. The gas evaporator is also from 500 to 2000 kilo per hour. The water evaporator, it's also connected to the whole system, but we can supply it separately. Straightforward. And the content station for LPG evaporation, which we will also talk about, and my colleague will show. Let's start with the dry one. As I mentioned, it has a capacity of 350 to 100 kilo per hour. It's electric dry. I have a car. There's also a mechanical float that prevents the flow of warm LPG. But besides having that float that activates when needed, it is also sensitive dilution. There's a high capacity. It automatically shuts off. This is like a second safety measure. And the third safety measure, which we have here, this is an electrovalve at the inlet of the hot phase of LPG. So our evaporators start up when they are heated to avoid creating various unnecessary effects. The control panel is an option for our evaporators. We can have it. Install it. It will be informative, showing various parameters. At the bottom we have information on the models, the power of the heater, and so on. I will also share these presentations so you can find them on the website for those who came here. Definitely take it down, take a look, read it again. Our live installations. It's done. You can see that it works. It is even obvious that someone has forgotten to take their bottle back. Next, the electric LPG evaporator. It says here for release from 50 up to 1200. If the client really wants 50, I also suggest this dry 100, which will be cheaper. But it's possible from 50 electric with a water bath. So we have a tank there with water, we heat it with heaters, and we also have those safety features. This is for more powerful ones, up to 1200. It has the same solenoid valve that gets activated when it is heated to 50% so that the flow can already work. It has certifications, as I mentioned, for each of our choices. The Korea Gas and Guinea evaporator has the appropriate certifications for the European Union. This evaporator has information panel, the solenoid valve I mentioned, and the ATEX control panel. The models are also shown here. You can look up the power, heaters, dimensions. It also says that this dry one is too high. If it's a bit lower, it should be cheaper. Well, I don't know. We'll see. We'll talk. Examples of our evaporator installations. We also installed that. This is the KEV-SR evaporator. SR, that means it's with ATEX. Control with a built module. If we have KLB without SR, it's simply without that. You can see our installations here. This is an elevator. Our safety functions, which we take very seriously to ensure that our solutions are safe for customers. So we simply have shown what connecting flange at the LPG vapor phase outlet. It's already there. The flange at the inlet phase, these are important matters. They are clear, but what else? The electromagnetic valve at the inlet of the liquid phase of LPG. It turns on when it's heated up and then it operates correctly. What is also important here, there is a reset button. How do you start this inflow? And it will activate for us because it will start up. Then when liquid LPG comes in, it pushes on this inflow, closing the valve. Then the engineer who is responsible for this installation comes over and presses it. Why isn't it automatic? Because he needs to see what happened with the evaporator. How will he see that? He will check and confirm that's clear. He will press it and then it will start up. Besides that, this valve operates based on speed. The flow of LPG, how high the speed is, and it can be caused by stretching the whole line, what comes next. It will also automatically turn on and close the evaporator output. Technical data of the gas evaporator, we will discuss this in detail later, but it's a technical matter. Power. The power of the gas burner is 120-350 kilowatt, but that's one thing. And the other is that it needs a minimal amount of electrical power. That means that if we set it up in a field for drying corn or whatever, it works autonomously. How does it work? He pulls it in, the LPG vapor from the tank starts up, we turn the valve, and off we go. On regular LPG through the pump, and so on. The whole system. It also has safety features, certificates key. Everything you need to set it up calmly and take a look. What does it look like inside? You can see it on the slides. We'll definitely show how it looks inside as well. Why is it needed? And for us, this is an important thing. Evaporator. It is poured because it is complete. The cost of the evaporator investment, much lower. Why? Because we will set it up and we don't have to fiddle with it. Because it is autonomous, like in other systems. Energy efficiency, because it consumes little electricity. This is important too because these are costs. Easy installation. Why is it easy? You just need to buy it, check it, talk to us and set it up. We will help with everything. And simple operation. That is, if your technician comes and sees it, or the person you signed the contract with once a year, that's enough to keep it running without worries and to sleep peacefully. For example, here we have a comparison of investment costs in the installation. Please note the two types of solutions. The first one is KWW, well, you know, boiler. KWW, well, you know, it needs to be monitored. Boiler, a person needs to keep an eye on it, to come and check on it. These are the costs, the cost of the evaporator, the price of the anchorage, all the costs are outlined here. But if we have KBV 1500, we only pay for 1 KBV, and that's enough. We don't worry about those things. As you can see, it's twice as cheap. Let's move on. These are our installations. These are the installations that connected KGE with our collaboration. And we sat down at Dubai Mall. All the cafes that would be there in the foundations where something is happening, that's specifically from our evaporators. And these are the installations that we implemented. I'll just push it a little more. Water evaporator. The water evaporator is either in our I-MAXGAS or in our portable evaporation station, but you can also use it for some installation that exists. It doesn't have valves. It says evaporation and control, because the customer always knows what they can expect from us. At our I-MAXGAS station, all those safety features are there. The safety features, which our colleague will also talk about. So this is just the water evaporator. Where do we install it? Here. We also have some examples. It's a bit of a curiosity. When you installed it in one company, we have a picture that suggests it's not beneficial. How many boilers did you need to connect? I think it's 8, but it could be replaced with 1. Certifications. What was it like in that video? At the beginning, Korea Gas Engineering has certifications for evaporators. 8X PAD. It also has 8X for the control rail. KEV. We have all the certifications. We can share them. The novelty is the I-MAXGAS Evaporator. The evaporator station where we have on the left side Robura, and on the right side we have our evaporator. Well, this container can operate from -25 to temperatures of our European environments. It has all safety features. And we can also, as it is written here, we can have the possibility equip it with an additional backup system, a boiler, etc. And we also need to talk to the technician to see if he needs it. But we can implement something like that. We can expand it further. This is what it looks like from all sides. And how did we approach this topic at all? Because we approach this very cautiously, and first we need to examine it. So the project is based on physics theory. So, excuse me, it's very important for us that the temperature drop in this device is 5%. Also, we had here, well, we know that other solutions have a drop of up to 20%, 20 degrees. But it's very important for us that there is a 5-degree drop, and we are designing it that way so that it doesn't operate at maximum speed, and it had a 15% reserve. This is also very important because there can be certain situations and we need to avoid them. Here is the standard specification. Why is efficiency very important to us? To program everything and equip it with the right hardware, because we also selected with the knowledge that it operates at 100%, but also has some reserves, 10% down of its efficiency. So we select the appropriate equipment, we analyze from the equipment, we are analyzing, and we implemented such things. The design pressure can withstand up to 17 bar, for hot water 3 bar. Well, that was quick. I thought I wouldn't bore you because there will be more presentations to come. Thank you very much once again.